Shedeur Sanders' NFL debut was already going to be a hot-button story. Rookie thrust into action after Dillon Gabriel's concussion, national spotlight, high expectations, and then his personal life got dragged into it when his home was reportedly burglarized during the game. That sequence of events makes for an ugly 1-2 punch, a rough on-field first impression followed by an off-field trauma that could sideline his mental focus as much as any injury. Start with the football. Sanders entered in the second half against the Ravens with almost no preseason reps with the first-team offense and essentially no ramp-up. The results were predictably rocky. 4 for 16, an interception, 2 sacks, a fumble, a couple of flashes, a deep ball nearly completed, a handful of throws that showed arm talent, but overall a clearly underprepared performance. That's not surprising given the way the Browns managed their quarterback room all season. They prioritized development for Dillon Gabriel, signed off on trading Joe Flacco, and kept Sanders on the periphery. Pressing a fifth-round rookie into a live, hostile NFL environment without practice reps is a recipe for ugly tape. Now add the burglary. Athletes get targeted when they're on the road. It's an ugly, recurring trend. And having that happen during your first pro game is more than a security breach. It's a psychological blow. You don't perform at your peak when your home life is violated, when you're processing fear and anger and dealing with police, insurance, and security changes. For a rookie already under enormous pressure to justify his draft slide, that's a distraction that can materially impact preparation and growth. So what does this mean for Sanders' short-term and longer-term trajectory? Short-term, expect Cleveland to be cautious. Kevin Stefanski publicly committed to Gabriel as the starter once he clears concussion protocol, and that makes sense. Sanders showed enough to suggest he deserves development time, but not enough to force a starter change. If Gabriel is cleared, Sanders' next live reps might be limited to mop-up work. If Gabriel misses time, Sanders will get a real audition. But the front office and coaching staff will have to weigh his mental state after the burglaries as well as his on-field readiness. Longer term, this could be a defining moment in either direction. If Sanders gets a clean week of practice, a supportive game plan, and a stable environment, including upgraded personal security and team mental health support, he could show meaningful progress and force the Browns' hand. If the team keeps him on the bench and he's left to stew on that debut and the burglary, narrative momentum will tilt toward him being not ready, and his supporters will grow frustrated. What should the Browns do, practically? First, protect the player. The team needs to offer immediate security, privacy, and counseling resources so Sanders can process the burglary and sleep without fear. That's basic duty of care and also smart football ops. A prepared, calm quarterback is a better quarterback. Second, give him structure. If he's going to start at any point, he needs a 1-week intensive. First team reps, simplified game plan, short develop reads, and a leash to check down and run when the pocket collapses. Third, manage expectations publicly and internally. Don't overhype a single debut, but don't bury the tape either. Use it as a learning blueprint. Footwork, pocket awareness, release speed, and make measurable weekly goals. For Shedeur personally, the roadmap is clear. Shore up mechanics, get quicker through progressions, be willing to take the safe play, and avoid heroic improvisation until the fundamentals are locked. Off the field, lock down security, limit public posts that reveal location, and lean on team mental health and veteran mentors to handle the psychological fallout. Finally, for fans and media, temper the knee-jerk hot takes. One half of football in a hostile environment with no first-team practice and an active burglary happening during the game is not a definitive verdict on his career. It's a rough snapshot. The meaningful judgment will come after a full week of preparation, and crucially, a prepared start where the Browns either empower him with a supportive game plan or continue to develop him patiently. Bottom line, Sanders' debut and the burglary are both setbacks, but neither is fatal. How the Browns, Sanders, and his support circle respond this week with security, structure, and realistic expectations will tell us whether this becomes the start of his redemption arc or just another rookie cautionary tale.